Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Valley by Night, River City, our Vampire 5th Edition actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be...
Never mind, it's not slow in mind, I'm sorry. It's really slow.
Oh, we've got
now
it.
doing the theme.
Well, then we're going to assume that it's working for right now.
Yeah. Carry on, never mind, sorry.
Anyway, with me as usual will be Duba playing Walter, Jeremy playing Egidio, Sarah playing Emma, Rappy playing Iola, and Eric playing Kyle. Who wants to give a review from last week?
Shit got fucky.
Stuff exploded.
Come on, man. 30 seconds into the stream.
What?
Demonetized.
Oh wait, this isn't YouTube. Never mind. Oh, but it will be later.
Due to rather interesting turn of events, a familiar face happened to grace the dead man's drink. However, due to some interesting awareness checks, I was about to say perception, but this ain't D&D. Close enough though. Unfortunately,
vampires exist in D&D.
And I understand. We were graced with someone that was forcefully came to our door to burn it to the ground.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the hippie chick at first.
Oh, the hippie chick did pay us a visit.
God, that did happen in the same session, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, within like 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
She left as the other guy came in.
Oh, she even succumbed to Reuschreck, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, he bolted too.
She comes in and says, warns you about these people. You shouldn't hang out with these people. Leaves, explosion, Reuschreck. Emma's getting a strongly worded email.
Probably.
All caps, I told you.
Yeah, it just says, I told you.
But yes, fellow walked in with a sort of gelled gas bomb of some sort. The fire department investigators later figured out kind of, exactly what it was. But yeah, so that guy walks in, Kyle picks up the smell of gasoline and manages to hurl him out of the building before he explodes. Kyle freaked out and Emma had to run after him. And Kyle gonna be wearing hoodies for the next, day or two, couple of days?
For this, after we wake up for this night, and then the effects fade.
I don't even think the night finished technically.
Yeah, I know.
No, it didn't.
I'll say once this night is done, and then we wake up the next night. That night counts, and then the night after that, then the effect fades.
Okay. So you'll probably be dealing with it most of this session.
Probably.
I don't want to do anything. I want to go back to sleep.
There's been a lot going on in just 5 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how hitting the snooze button's how vampires fall into torpor.
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it like that, but yeah.
Or a hunger frenzy, one of the, whichever comes first.
Yeah, but I believe we did end this session with the police finally letting all of y'all go, and y'all heading to your respective homes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as the sun sets, everybody give me that rouse check.
Okay.
Woo! I'm making it.
I make mine. I'm not any hungrier.
Are you still at Hunger Zero?
Scroll.
That guy was a very satisfying meal.
Yes, I am still at Hunger Zero.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because he made this is what the third rouse check he's had to make because he used a couple of abilities.
Please. Woo! Still gonna go hunting, but woo! I don't get hungrier.
Oh, wait a minute. That reminds me of something. Speaking of checks, something I remember reading in the errata from the companion,
Mm-hmm.
where they altered how bestial failures work.
That doesn't sound fun.
Oh, it'll be fun for you.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
Well, now let's not be hasty.
Oh no, that's right.
What Jason heard it was fun for him. He's like, oh, okay.
Hold up. Let him cook.
Compulsions can result from messy criticals just as they do from bestial failures.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
That makes sense, truthfully.
mentioned that a few times.
Yeah. Which I think I kind of have been leaning into a bit with the Gangrel compulsion. Every time he messy criticals where he just like devolves into like 1 or 2 word sentences.
Alright, so let's see, Walter doesn't get hungrier, Iola gets hungrier.
I'm good.
Alright. So who's gonna hunt? First thing.
That'd be Walter. Just because RNGesus is not kind and I'm not risking it for that benefit.
We do have that one point and herd for the coterie that no one's tapped for this week.
Someone wants to get some loose blood bags.
That was what
I
I
should use
was.
the fridge.
That's what I was considering before I was told make a rouse check for the night. I was like, oh, okay, then we're doing this live.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough. If you gotta hunt, you gotta hunt.
Iola's probably gonna hunt.
Okay. When Iola gets up, what's her usual routine? You know, when she first wakes up, before she leaves the house, or wherever the haven is.
Usually would be to see how the feeling of how the day's gonna plan out.
Okay.
Does it feel like a good day? Does it not? Type deal.
Just,
Hasn't been a good time the past 4 weeks, so she hasn't left.
I'm just picturing somebody standing behind Iola, picking her up, setting her on her legs, letting go to see if she falls down or stays standing.
Is it a bones or a no bones day?
Basically.
I like
Shaking her like a match gate ball.
I like the idea that Iola just like, well, they told me to stay indoors. It's COVID.
Now, does she do this by, actually using abilities? Does she have a tarot deck? Does she just gauge her mood for the day? How is she doing this?
She has a tarot deck that she uses.
Okay. Which means from now on, I'm going to have my tarot deck on hand, and we will draw your card when you wake up.
I mean, you don't have to do yours.
I got one over there for Fire Emblem too.
I own a tarot deck, sir. Very, very pretty artwork.
Yeah, I've got one over there on my desk. I've got one out in the living room, though it's kind of a game, but it's a tarot deck, but then it's got extra stuff on it for, like, helping you design campaign settings and stuff.
We're doing NOS stuff, and I'm not a NOS. See? Like, very pretty.
Oh, nice.
Focus. Tarot deck. We can use that. I'm fine with this. After that DreamCon last year. So pretty. So. We could do that today. I just got to shuffle. And it came with a pretty bag.
Oh, yeah. Alright, while you give that a shuffle, though, we'll jump over to Walter. Were any of the rest of you hunting tonight?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Alright, Walter, were you going to hunt, or were you just going to tap the herd?
Oh. You know what? Just for the sake of argument, I'll tap the herd.
Alright. And if I recall right, y'all's herd is basically a refrigerator that a GDO keeps stocked.
Yep. It's he will keep it in the refrigerator in the soundproof area. Not in the public soundproof room, but the other one, the secret meeting area in the Dead Man's Drink.
I think Eric had been calling that the speakeasy.
Speakeasy, yeah.
Secret tunnel.
He'll keep it in the speakeasy and it'll just have arrows. It'll be very not subtle arrows pointing to it, like, come here if you need refreshments.
All right, so basically Walter heads to the bar first thing.
Yeah.
It is, of course, not open tonight.
Oh yeah, because of all that's gone on.
All that stuff, yeah. Back door's probably not back on yet, so it's easy to get in.
That's never stopped. I was gonna say that's never stopped an Nos before.
Yeah, but they have police guarding it now.
Do they?
Yeah.
They left a police car sitting outside.
I see.
For the previous night. Now, when Walter gets there, there's no police car.
Okay.
The blown out windows have been covered over with plywood, which I believe was something the manager Zeke had said he would take care of during the day. Like, he's so used to working with Kyle, it never even crossed his mind that Kyle would come help him do this during the day.
That's fair.
Other than the windows, there's a little bit of burn marks on the outside, a little bit on the roof, but nothing, no real major damage otherwise. So yeah, Walter, you slip in without any trouble. The roof access has been left unlocked, as it tends to be left unlocked for you. Since I don't think he's given the rest of y'all keys yet.
Highly doubtful.
But yeah, you slip in there. Like I said, not a lot of structural damage, so power still works and everything. So you get down in the speakeasy and help yourself to a blood bag.
And what does it do? Just slate one hunger?
I think that's all you can do.
Yeah, you can slake the amount of points of hunger per the amount of points you have in the herd per week. So since we only have 1 point in the coterie herd, we collectively as a coterie can only slake 1 hunger a week using that.
Which is really
advantage.
weird. Which is really weird when you think about it, because when you talk about a herd, it's more than one person.
Well, at one point, there was a very small herd.
Yeah, but herd 1 is still 1 to 3 people.
Yes. But it's how the rules are in there when I was looking at it.
It's also about making sure you're not taking enough to actually harm the people involved. You're trying to keep this group going.
Yeah.
There's probably also a sign limit 1 per person.
You know what? That checks out. I would believe it.
All right. Sorry, checking the sound again. All right.
Sorry, I'm just trying to really space out.
Oh, not a problem. Just tell me when you're ready and we'll come back to you. All right, Kyle. What are you doing when you first wake up?
He's going to the bar.
Okay.
His things to check out.
Now, remind me, what did you do with the doggo?
Emma has him.
All right.
Because her place is pet friendly.
I have a house, but you don't want the dog to deal with Mildred.
Nah. I think the dog will be just staring at Mildred going.
Yeah.
No, he is gonna pull out one particular phone that puts him in contact with a particular group of people. And he is gonna state that there needs to be a conclave soon. As soon as possible.
Okay, and what group of people is that?
This is basically him contacting the underworld.
Okay, so you're calling like the local gang leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back. Phone call.
Alright. Yeah, this is basically him leveraging his influence and saying there needs to be a meeting.
Okay, there's some of them seem a little surprised to hear from you because you've kind of been out, and then a couple of them were kind of expecting to hear something from you, given what happened at the bar. They've seen the news.
Yeah.
And they offer assurances, whatever that was. It was not any of their people.
Yeah, his thing is it's less of like he's just been out. It's like he kind of keeps the peace now. So he's still like connected, but he's not like affiliated with any of them anymore.
He just does his little part to make sure the city doesn't catch on fire or anything.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, the city's already on fire.
But someone just gave him some gasoline.
The news is definitely talking about this rise in gang violence that's going on. You know, there's been a spike the last couple of years, and it kind of the last few months it kind of calmed down. Now it looks like everything's jumping back up again. Egidio.
Howdy.
What do you do when you awaken?
I awaken to see what the hell Mildred's done today.
Nothing seems to be amiss.
I will intentionally check every room. Be like,
Nothing today. Maybe she couldn't think of anything.
we'll talk later. And then I go to open the door.
Okay. Normal neighborhood stuff's going on. You know, it's 7:30 or so probably. You know, sun's just getting down. I was gonna say 6:30, and then I looked at my window and realized, oh yeah, it's almost 7 and the sun's still up.
Yep. I think he looks out and has a thought, and he's like, "No, we'll have that conversation now." And then he'll go to, he'll do a couple of things. He'll activate Sense Unseen, go back into his haven, activate Sense Unseen, and he will he'll take out the little mesh thing he's been holding in the Tupperware tray, and he'll put some of his blood on it and then make a circle and start working on that ritual.
All right, and what does this ritual do?
Finding the alloy eye. It is the one that you know and I don't. Here, do that.
All right.
So it's in a Tupperware container, but it's also like it's like blackened off.
All right. The user spends a scene contacting a specter, bonding them to the aluminum mesh. It is placed in a light-proof container. It is removed and placed on the kindred's flesh. When it is ready to go, roll the ritual. So you're trying to bond the spirit that is haunting your house?
Yeah. And what this does, because that doesn't say what it does, is it shorts out or blinds security cameras. So in reality, this is the one that you actually roll, and not me.
Oh, because you wouldn't know for sure whether it worked or not.
Right.
Gotcha. All right.
So that's what he's going to be doing right now. So you don't actually see Egidio at the dead man's drink.
For a bit. I mean, it takes a scene, so it's not like a freakishly long time. All right. So what would the dice pool that I need to roll be?
Let me find it. Well, you wouldn't roll it now. You'd roll it when I do the effect.
Oh, I got you.
So, but for your notes, let me get that for you.
Oh, we got Juggy the Geek in the chat.
Yeah, is it like...
They say they love watching our campaigns.
Hey.
Y'all's campaign, they probably live around here. Or, well, maybe out where Jeremy's at. He could be anywhere.
It's somebody I know.
Oh.
Hello.
Yes.
It's not intelligence. It's like stamina.
Oh, okay. I was curious if it was the same as like the Tremere blood rituals.
Nope. It's different dice pools.
Okay.
And not actually my best stat, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because I know for the Tremere it's like intelligence and their blood sorcery.
The DC is 1 plus the ceremony level. So for this one, it's a ceremony. It's a second level ceremony, so the DC is 3.
Okay.
It is a resolve and oblivion. So for you, that is 4 dice.
Okay.
And whenever it, so I'm going to say now I'm going to save my blood surge specifically for this. Or whenever it happens to get activated, whether it be now or whenever it be necessary.
All right.
Yeah, now that we know how blood surge works.
So it'll be 6 dice.
Campaign and a half in.
Yeah.
So 6 dice with a blood surge.
Which does make sense because it is called blood surge.
Mm.
So yeah, that does make sense in retrospect.
What
To be
am I
fair to us-
missing with blood surge?
To be fair to us, it is not well written at all.
It's
not well worded. It's well written.
Yeah.
It's like pretty language or whatever, but it's not well worded.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of been a thing with vampire books all the way back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what we found out, Tasha, is that blood surge only works for 1 dice roll, and then it fades. It's not a continuous
Oh.
effect.
Gotcha.
Yeah, not like the force points last campaign.
Yeah.
All right. Is Iola ready for her to draw her card?
Yes.
All right.
I also want to say this scrambles cameras. It doesn't make me blind. It completely scrambles the cameras themselves.
All
Ten
right.
of Wands is what I pulled. But what type of am I doing? 1 card or am I pulling?
Just 1 card. We don't want to take too much time.
Okay.
Mm.
10 of
All
Wands.
right. Most often, did you draw it reversed or?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Most often, the Ten of Wands card carries the meaning of overload and burdening situations where too many responsibilities have been taken on by the subject. Huh. That's almost tricky.
Tarot's real.
Right of determination, tenacity, struggle, responsibility, and commitment.
So this is a day that Iola may not want to necessarily leave the house, but she may feel she needs to. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, probably.
Something's starting up. There's responsibilities to be taken. Now, does Iola keep up with the local news?
Probably, especially after getting a card like this, you probably more than likely would keep up with.
Okay. If you flip on the TV, you catch kind of the tail end of the news, and they talk about a bomb going off at a local business. And you see the dead man's hand with 2 of the windows blown out and a little bit of scorching up on the roof. And then they quickly, you get a little bit of footage from like the previous night. You can kind of see Kyle, kind of in the distance. You see Kyle talking to the police officers, and I don't think he said much of anything to any of the reporters.
He didn't say anything to the reporters. He just talked to the officers and went back into the bar. Also, hello, role players.
Hey.
Yes, that does sound like something the Inquisition would say.
Truly.
Yeah.
But the news report Iola sees is reporting that, suspicions of it being gang activity. But they're going to keep following this story.
Ah.
And when they mention gang activity, they reference the, gunfight in the Aldi's parking lot. And, the Princess Theater and the old bank getting shot up. Yes, role players, it's always gang activity.
Vampires aren't very clever.
Gangs
definitely-
of vampires. It's not
No,
lying.
vampires are pretty clever. It's what kind of vampire you're dealing with. That's the trick.
So, armed with this information, what is Iola going to do? Does she need to hunt?
Yeah, she's gonna. I mean, she's got 2 points in hunger, so might as well rather be safe than sorry.
Okay.
With explosions and fire and yay!
All right. So, where is she going to go to hunt?
Because what time are we in right now? I haven't been here for a month, though. Like, during what stage of COVID are we in?
They haven't shut everything down yet, but that is coming. Like, they know when the shutdown is going to start. They're already suggesting, no large gatherings. Like tonight, the mall is still open. But by the end of the week, they're pretty sure everything's going to be shut down.
Okay.
Restaurants will be doing drive-thrus, that sort of thing.
Okay. Since you know something happened at the bar, nobody's there. So.
And if she checks her phone, there's probably a few oddball messages in the group chat.
That's a
Weird
bunch of weird gifts.
Some gifts, some emojis. I mean, it's... everybody being very careful not to say anything specific.
Vampires, thieves can't.
Probably somewhere by, like, the Waffle House and Red Lobster area.
Okay. Well, there's probably always somebody at the Waffle House.
Oh, yeah, totally. Even
Catch
during
someone just
tornado
after a fight.
warnings, there's
Yep.
always somebody at the Waffle House. I should know.
Had 55-mile-an-hour sustained winds with gusts of up to 80, and the Waffle House was just fine. It was open like normal.
Yeah, at work with that going on, I had a coworker be like, "Yo, Waffle House?" I said, "No, tornado." He's like, "I don't care, Waffle House." And I'm like, "No, I'm sane. Sorry." So yeah.
Yeah, but now he's well fed.
He's partaken of the sacrament of the Church of the Waffle.
I mean, it's a good thing I didn't go though. Apparently, like 2 days before that, somebody got arrested. So I mean, hey,
It's a
Waffle
Waffle
House.
House.
yes.
Yeah, it's a Waffle House. Are you surprised?
No.
Do you not remember all the shenanigans that went down in our last vampire game involving a Waffle House?
Not at all.
Nobody looked twice because it was a Waffle House.
Yeah.
Alright, so you head over that way.
Oh, yeah. Role players has the right of it there. The Sedites do not like light at all.
This is
No,
fair.
no. They're the ministry.
Yeah.
Just gotta be a little shadier than they are, and you're good. And you are.
Which is weird for being a girl.
Alright, so give me your hunting roll. Which I believe we had decided was going to be
Wits
uh
wise?
Or was it charisma performance?
I could do charisma performance. That's fine by me.
Because it's all about you. Because the way you're hunting is all about you going in and being like sympathetic to somebody that's feeling a little down, or
Yeah. So we said charisma performance.
Because at your humanity, you don't necessarily really feel a whole lot of empathy for people anymore. But
yeah.
you know how to fake it.
Yeah.
Retail.
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 I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those dice.
Okay.
That did
So-
not like
Rather a
me.
lot of dice. Wow.
So that's a willpower.
Yeah.
You're currently sitting at 1 success.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you can reroll 3 of those.
It's a D10, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Okay.
successes. Look at that.
You got 2 more, so yeah, that puts you at 3.
No, that's
I
3.
got 4 more.
6,
Three,
9.
that's 4,
Oh,
Yeah.
4, that's right, yeah, never mind.
4 successes. And I could only technically re-roll 2 more? No, 1 more dice. I'm not.
One
That's
more.
no point at that point.
4 successes, I think.
4 successes is enough. Let's see. So let's see. What would you be? You're kind of hanging around the Waffle House, keeping an eye on it. You're in the area, keeping an eye on the 2 restaurants. And you see 2 people come out of the Waffle House just arguing. A man and a woman. The woman seems very angry, and the guy is like apologizing and trying to calm her down. Yeah, but she's not having it. She gets in the car, drives off. He's standing there looking upset, and then like looking around like he realizes that was his ride. So you're able to, walk up to him, and you can basically just walk right up to him, ask him what's wrong.
Ay, pobrecito.
Yeah, she gonna play the sympathy card and ask what happened and all that jazz.
Well, his girlfriend found out that him and her best friend had a little thing up before he was dating her, but neither one of them had ever mentioned it to her, and apparently it slipped out in a conversation she was having with a friend, and it's been an on and off. Any little thing he might say sets her off, and he made the mistake of mentioning the friend while they were eating, and now he's got a couple miles to walk to get home.
Let me see.
Nice.
How far do you live if you're walking miles away?
Oh, he rattles off what street it's on. It's one of the areas. Well, hang on a second. I hit a weird button. All right. It's like if you're looking at the Coterie domain map.
Mm-hmm.
It's back this way, but a little further back off the map. Just one of the residential neighborhoods. It's probably more like a mile and a half away. course, that's walking straight. If he chooses not to cut through people's yards, it's going to take a little longer. He seems really happy to have a sympathetic ear. He's like, he didn't want to, be a bother, but do you happen to have a car? Could you give me a ride?
He's gonna say, "Yeah, sure, it's this way," and then
just lure him off.
yes, lure him off. And
because in Waffle Houses they have big windows.
Yeah.
Security camera footage of you just like making out with him and then just bite his neck.
Hey, they don't kink shame at the Waffle House.
No, they don't.
The guy watching the security camera. Oh, I bet that left a hickey. Man, if his girlfriend was mad before, think when he gets home now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lure him off, down an alley, around the corner, somewhere kind of generally out of sight.
Yeah. And then I'm going to compel him to, stay still.
Is that the level 1?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Compel and Cloud Memory are both level 1.
Okay.
And then she's going to feed enough to slake 1 hunger, and then make him forget with Cloud Memory.
So yeah, you get him somewhere secluded, hold still, forget this ever happened, you walk off. He kind of shakes himself, glances around, and just continues walking home. Emma, when you get up, what you gonna do?
Take out the puppers.
I was about to say, other than clean up the mess the puppers made.
Probably at least isolated puppers to like the bathroom or something.
Yeah, it's vinyl floor. You wipe it up, no problem.
Yeah, take out the puppers and be like, "Who's a good puppy?" She's just a little too happy to have like a pet dog for like a couple hours. Checks her email, all that kind of stuff. Her car is still flat tired at the Dead Man's Drink.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna check the text, see if anything's going on with the coterie, and probably start hoofing it towards the bar, because that's kind of just, even with it being destroyed, it's a central point. Be like, hey, weren't we all getting together for that party tonight? Or at least, I guess it's not a party now since everything that's happened, but are we still getting together somewhere? Someone give me a call.
Just mask emoji.
Looks at it like, the circus, masquerade party.
Yeah, Kyle would text back like, yeah, we are still having that get together.
Cool, just someone give me a call. I'll probably hear the ringer more than I'll hear the text tone.
My hand's like midway through like portioning out blood for a ceremony. And he's just like, I'll be a little bit late. That's it.
Making a cake or something.
Dripping blood with one hand, working his text with the other one while chanting.
Swipe.
Gotta have a good screen protector too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have to have those mitts that will activate on your digits.
Yeah, they have the little or a stylus.
Yeah.
She'll just kind of wander about until then. Keeping in well-populated places, because, yeah, it's been a weird couple nights.
There's another text. Bring my dog.
You mean my dog?
Still doing
I
this, and
swear
there's like
to God.
there's that Bugs Bunny gift that's like this.
Yeah. I was gonna say she does put the coterie in the coterie chat. She does put the Bugs Bunny picture, the meme one, and then on it has our dog.
Emma, I swear to God.
If you don't name this dog, I am naming this dog, and it will be the most embarrassing thing you have to yell at the top of your lungs to get it to come back.
I'm still working on it. I have had a little bit more things on my mind than naming a dog.
You know, a dog is a lifelong commitment.
So is my bar, and it exploded.
She considers putting something else cheeky, but just holds off for now. And she'll make her way probably towards... She assumes people are heading towards the bar, so she'll probably make her way there.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely keeping a very kind of weather eye on, you know, anyone she doesn't really recognize, that kind of thing. Being very aware of her surroundings. Heightened
Let's see.
senses.
And your apartment was back around here somewhere?
Yeah, it was near the domain.
But not in the domain.
Yeah, like pretty close to the domain.
Okay.
Like not a far walk.
I got you. So you said it's a public place. I'm going to assume that you stay on the streets and you don't cut through like the wooded area or anything.
Hell no, she's not cutting through the wooded area.
Fair enough.
Just taking her dog for a walk.
So you cut down the road kind of at the bottom here, through some of the smaller streets that cut across. You're actually passing close to the blood center. When your pupper gets a little tense. A little low growl, sniffing the air, sniffing the ground.
She doesn't pause, but she definitely, like, glances around just to be like, what? You smell a... She's just saying this out loud, but she knows it's not a squirrel. Like, you smell a squirrel. There's some stray cats around here. A skunk. What is it, Lassie?
Of course, the pupper does not answer you back.
No, the pupper does not answer me back, but she feels better talking to the pupper than not. She does continue onward, but again, still just being very aware.
Give me an awareness, is it?
What's awareness?
Yeah, that's the one.
I put points into that.
Yay!
3 successes.
All right, you only needed 2.
Pretty good.
Hey.
I'm gonna keep those dice out because they behaved.
So like the pupper's not trying to drag you close, off anywhere. It's just it's tense, but it keeps walking next to you. Sniffing around, looking around. Its paranoia rubs off on you. You're looking around, and as you come around to the other side, you're on the sidewalk, but around to the other side of the blood center, you see one of the side windows is busted in.
And she knows that's the blood center Gidio has some stake in.
Yep.
It's correct.
Fantastic. She's just going to directly call Egidio.
You just hear, "Hey there, Mr. Hello?"
Hey, one of those businesses you were interested in, you were talking about recently, you were considering becoming like a donor at. It looks like someone has damaged it. I can send you a picture if you want. What do you mean again?
Oh, never mind. Different business. Yes, please do, and I will.
She'll rattle off the address. It's the one at,
There.
yada yada yada.
Yeah,
Like someone busted in a window.
I think it's like, I'm almost done with what I'm doing. Can you give me
Yeah, take your time. Do you want me to call the authorities, or...
I'm sure someone has already.
It's
still
probably
pretty early in the evening.
closed. I don't think they're keeping hours with everything going on. Would she know that? Does it look like anyone's in the building?
It looks like the lights are mostly off. I mean, you don't ever turn all the lights off in a business like this.
Yeah. But like,
But the lights are like dimmed inside. Only a few of them are left on. You do see one car parked in the back parking lot. Once you got around to that side.
I'll just call the.
Go ahead, call the police.
Is it something I need to take care of immediately?
No.
I trust your judgment on this.
That's a horrible thing to do, first off, but, everything going... No, maybe let this sort itself out. I'm sure they have an alarm system or something. You have someone you can call it, that works here, right? Maybe someone broke it earlier and have someone here waiting for it to get repaired.
Maybe.
Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.
Alright, I'll see you.
She's like, that was getting awkward. Okay. Looks at the dog. How's the dog reacting to this?
If you're still walking away, he seems to be getting a little calmer. But he smelled something around there he didn't like.
She knows there's been at least 2 nights that, into the bonding ceremony. Would she have any idea if that would make the dog a little bit more, I don't know, growly at vampires?
Do you have an occult specialty or anything like that? Or skill?
Hell no. She doesn't even have animal kin.
You don't have a clue.
Didn't say anything to Gidio about the dog. Oh well.
Didn't say.
You were before now. You were barely aware you could ghoul animals.
Gidio knew she had the dog, so
yeah, but
yeah, she didn't want to have said anything about the dog acting weird. She figures dogs act weird all the time. Just a dog acting weird. Dang it. Time for a coin flip. And she'll call the non-emergency line for the cops.
Okay, you meet it. Somebody immediately picks up.
Hey, I was just out, taking the dog for a walk just to get out, cabin fever. It looks like someone busted in one of the windows on the blood center down here. I didn't know if that had been reported to you guys or not. I mean, with everything going on in the area.
You hear some tapping. No, I don't believe they have. We'll dispatch somebody to take a look.
Cool. I just figured I'd report it. Thank you.
Quickest anybody's ever gotten the attention of the authorities. That's how you know this is a game.
Yeah. There's a hold, please.
Well, to be fair, this is also a blood center, which is actually fairly important, especially with a epidemic in process.
But so yeah, you quickly hang up just about the time she's about to ask you for your name.
Yeah, and she's on one of her burner phones, so.
But
and just keeps on trucking to the dead man's.
Yeah. And you don't hear you don't hear any sirens or anything by the time you got into the dead man's drink. But
yeah, she figured probably at some point someone will wander down there.
But yeah, you get to the drink. The back door and the front door, side door, the main door is locked. And only Kyle, as far as you know, only Kyle has the keys. Well, and Zeke, but he's not here.
Yeah, she just kind of goes over to her car and unlocks it and kind of lets the dog sit in the back. She's like, just hang up there. I'm gonna get at least the donut on this thing, so just you behave, all right?
You do see some police cars go by while you're changing the tire.
I'll just have a conversation with the dog while he's doing it.
But Maybe 10 minutes after the police get there, another couple of cars come up with the sirens on. Then an ambulance that shows up.
In her head, glad I didn't get involved in that.
Yeah, I don't think you could.
Potentially.
You couldn't. Yeah, you can't see the blood center from where you're from the parking lot. I don't think. But you see, you see the. Yeah, you see the. Because they come off the belt line and.
I think the mall is between us and the blood center.
Yeah, I think so.
It is.
Yeah.
You'd have to be at one of the shops further down to kind of be seeing past it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the map right here. Why don't I just look? Yes, it's very definitely, very definitely blocking you off. All right.
Yeah, she just kind of nods and is like, okay, glad I didn't get involved in that because I don't need to get involved in any more police stuff. All right. What about you, Doggo? You happy we didn't get involved?
Doggo just gives you a look.
That's what I thought. You're good. And just scratches the head and goes about continuing.
Doggo's been pretty quiet, except when the vehicles went by with the sirens going. Then he's like, "Hurr," in sync with the sirens.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I feel that. Mm.
Around that point, Kyle comes out the back door. Do you need any help?
No, I'm good.
Right.
Beauregard here's just really good with, conversations. We're just kind of hanging out.
Well, I figure Emma would have gotten to the bar before Kyle, because Kyle had to make several phone calls.
No, he was making the call like on his way.
Oh, okay.
Walk and talk.
Yeah, he didn't need to hunt. He got the phone, make the call on his way, and he was heading straight for the bar. Have you just been inventing names this whole time?
Oh, no regard.
Just, Cornelius, he didn't respond to that. Obadiah. See, which one he responds to,
Have him
Potato.
just call it Fluffy and call it a day.
Do you really want to be yelling that at the top of your lungs in the middle of the mall parking lot when the dog just does something completely absurd?
I haven't heard any better options.
She looks mildly offended.
Anyway.
You can never do better than Pookie.
And I'll take the dog, take him inside.
The dog
He walks
has,
inside.
a festive bandana on.
That's fine.
The Christmas bandana in March.
Yeah. She has a lot of bandanas as well, so.
Kyle still does have the beanie on his head.
Every now and then you can see something twitching under the beanie.
Like, he still got and does this.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic.
Just ask somebody if they still have this.
Yeah, she can.
I didn't lose your beanie overnight.
I have a bunch of beanies. The beanie things the beanie are containing.
I'm sure you do.
I'm gonna finish this. You do you.
Yeah. He's gonna take the dog back to his office and feed the doggo.
But the dog gets excited as you're heading to the office because it remembers that there was food in the office.
Yep. And rouse check.
Okay.
I get hungrier.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, so I'm at hunger 1 now. But I did complete the bond. So the dog is now a bound familis.
Okay. And it is now particularly fond of you.
Yep.
Where up till now, it hadn't really been acting like you more than Emma, particularly.
And I completed my desire, so willpower bonus.
Okay. Now, if you only had a name for the poor thing.
I mean, you could always name it Colby Jack, as often as Colby Jack goes to you whenever you come visit us.
I don't know why that cat of yours likes to maul my foot like it particularly offended him in some way.
Probably
Must say I'm
did.
very glad I wore my steel boots yesterday because he was just like, this foot, it has offended me personally. And then proceeded to attempt to maul it. And then when that didn't work, he went after my hand, which was successful. But cats are gonna cat.
Dog name.
Cat's gonna cat.
All right, so Walter, you're already inside with Kyle.
Dog's name is Shiloh. There we go.
That works.
That is a fairly classic dog name.
Yep.
It's my very first dog, actually. It's a white German Shepherd.
Aw,
I don't know what breed my first dog was. Probably a mutt.
mine was very much a mutt.
His name was G9. I was like 3 or 4, and I know I named him, but I don't remember why. And nobody that was an adult at the time has a clue why I named him that.
Wangle.
Hey.
I was young enough that maybe I was thinking K9 and got the wrong letter. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's been my best theory, for the past 30-something years, 38 years, or whatever. Anywho. Alright, so y'all are all there. Iola, after your feeding, I'm assuming that you'd swing by the bar to at least see if anybody was there. So you get there as Emma is finishing putting the little donut tire on her car.
Decided to come out of your cave.
Rabbi, can you hear us?
What happened?
You arrived in the Dead Man's Drinks parking lot just as Emma was finishing up putting the donut tire on her car.
Ah, okay.
And you can see where the regular tire is laying there with an obvious knife slashing it.
Decided to come out of your cave.
Yeah. Kind of didn't want to, but
Just kind of nods.
hide forever.
Yep. Kyle's inside.
Okay. Do you need help?
Nope, I think I got this handled.
Okay. And then she'll go into the bar.
All right, Emma, you have finished up, I assume you're going to throw the flat tire, into the trunk for now.
She chunks it in there and she'll follow in
Into the
after a few
woods.
minutes.
Okay.
No, she's not throwing it into the woods.
Throw it in the woods. Watch the lupine throw it back.
No.
It's a chew toy for them.
Oh, that's it.
It's like fetch.
Now you throw that garbage into the woods, and then all you hear from inside is, "That's it! Rage across the mall."
I can see that happening.
But no, you put the spare tire in there. You grab the trunk, you slam it down, and as you slam it down, there's somebody standing next to your car.
Anyone she recognizes.
No, you've never seen this person before.
They're closed. I'm just picking up my car.
You're one of the barons, correct?
If you're asking that, yes.
Ah, excellent. I'm Grace, and she holds out her hand to shake.
She'll give it a courteous shake, but nothing to where she can get flipped over the car.
Whoosh.
Yeah, as soon as you take her hand, she puts her other hand up, so she's cupping your hand, and, it's an awkward, overly long shake as she keeps talking to you.
Can I help you?
Yes, I was sent to speak with you.
With me in particular, or
With all of you, she's still shaking.
you can? She extracts her hand, just kind of gives Grace's hand a little pat there. It's fine. Stay here a second. She'll just send a text on the group chat. Have a visitor, or have a looky-loo out back.
Kyle's out the back door in record time.
So is Iola, because she's probably not that far from
He's
walking
hit by the
in.
doors that open.
Halfway between the doors. Whoosh.
Kyle passing Aola. Oh, it's nice to see you out of your cave. As he heads out back.
How do you keep calling it? If anyone's
I
gonna
don't
have
know
a
where
cave,
she
it's gonna be
lives.
you.
I mean, they'll be upset. Like, she disappeared for a month. Or in a couple of days to them, I'm assuming.
Emma, what are you wearing on your head right now?
She's probably got her hoodie, like hood up with a beanie, because it's
Okay.
still what cool. It's still cool out.
It's this time of year, so some nights are very cool. Others are, cool enough that somebody having a hoodie is not going to be looked at weird. So yeah, Kyle, you see this? You see a woman standing there, kind of by the car with Emma. She sort of waves at you. Oh. Hi, Mr. Adams.
Do I know this person?
Hey, you're both wearing hats. She looks vaguely familiar. You can't play. You're not coming up with a name for her, but she looks vaguely familiar.
You look familiar. Have we met before?
I'm not sure that we've spoken. I'm Grace LeBlanc. She holds out her hand to shake.
Good luck.
He'll give her the little grasp and then one shake thing.
So you one shake and you're basically taking your hand away as she had brought her other hand up to cup your hands like she had done, Emma.
Well,
It's gonna
for
be a
us,
spike.
yeah, so she basically just claps her hands. Well,
Why does
Mr.
that name
Blanc,
sound familiar?
if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing here?
Oh, I've been sent to speak with you.
By whom?
Oh, by my Baron.
Baron, so that's a
Baron singular.
That's better than the last visit we had.
Baron who? I'm not there, but Baron who?
She has not dropped his name yet.
Oh, okay. I thought
Which
you did.
Baron are you representing?
Oh, the Baron of Wallace, Baron Vasquez.
Pulling up my relationship.
And I'm going to level with you.
Sebastian Cologne.
Oh, forget I said Vasquez. Cologne. That was the. I have dug through my notes today. I was trying to find it in the old videos.
It's in
it
my
was-
notes. It's in my notes.
I finally decided, well, screw it. I'm just going to have to rename the Wallace guy, and I hope I never actually said it.
So this is the this is the
Alcavian.
Baron to the south of us, yeah.
What did you say his first name was?
Sebastian.
Baskin. Golon.
That's it. Excellent. So yes, Baron Cologne. Then, excuse me. I forgot to find a better way to take notes.
Was he there at the Princess Theater?
He was not.
He was
He
not.
sent two of his representatives.
Yeah, there were two representatives of his there that met you.
That's right. He sent two representatives to the theater. We had that meeting before.
Oh yes, the last get together. Yeah, she didn't go to that one, but yes, he sent some people. He wasn't feeling well that day.
I wonder why.
He has spells like that.
Right.
You say spells.
Why does he want to meet with us?
He hasn't had an opportunity to meet you yet. You're the newest barons, and something's going on. He's concerned about the future.
Emma in the back of her head is just Kill Bill sirens.
Right.
Now, you know Cologne's reputation. He doesn't get super into politics, generally speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, he is definitely an anarch. Always has been. Like even before the recent Cam Anarch fallout.
Yeah.
He is generally fairly respected in town. I mean, he's still a kindred, so you still watch your back around him, just general principle.
Yeah.
But he's not known to be particularly backstabby. And his domain is the southernmost in the city, based around the old Wallace Center, which used to be a big psychiatric kind of thing. I forget exactly what it is now. But...
Well, if nothing else, your Baron's reputation does precede him.
Yes, most everyone in town likes him, all right. Well, I mean, not the Camarilla, but you know. Oh no, she would pronounce it Camarilla. She'd pronounce it like Ales.
So I trust that you can understand my concern that I'm being approached by him immediately after my domain was attacked.
We saw it in the news. I believe it triggered a vision. I wasn't there when it happened. I talked to somebody else.
Huh. He doesn't often share those.
He may not share this one, but he wants to speak to you. To all of you, not just you specifically.
I unfortunately have a previous engagement. Would he be okay with speaking with the majority? I, of course, trust them to relay any of his wishes, feelings, thoughts.
Oh well, he's not trying to set something up for tonight. I mean, this would be in a few days when it's convenient.
Of course.
He's just sent me out, like sending out feelers or whatever. Oh, somebody has redeemed a hydrate, so if you have a drink, take a drink.
I
Chug,
can
chug,
acquire
chug.
a drink.
I finally have a drink. Yay!
I cannot acquire a drink. Where did I put it?
It's hidden.
It's somewhere.
It's
Sure
it's
is
right
somewhere.
there in front of you. You're just not seeing it.
No, it's behind me, actually, Malkavian.
The drink's obfuscated, okay? The drink's obfuscated.
I have a bottle of squirt.
Well, what?
Pardon?
Excuse me?
Can you bring that back a bit?
Isn't it that gross grapefruit-based soda?
That stuff's delicious.
Squirt. It's called squirt. No one else but Texans know what it is.
No, we carry it at work.
Delicious.
I've never heard of that until today.
My God.
I want to say I was going to buy a bottle, and then I realized it was grapefruit.
It doesn't taste like a grapefruit.
It's like a cross between like Fresca and something else. I can't place it, but it's tasty.
It's more lemon lime than grapefruit.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I might be getting confused with something else.
Citrusy.
Oh no, that might be something else I'd have to try at some point. 'Cause I
Every
really
Walmart
like,
ever.
I really like lemon lime sodas.
But back to the non-soda blood drinkers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Setting up
Keep it
something
hydrated.
for another date. Is there... I'm sure your Baron understands that it's been a busy time for us, but I believe I speak for most of us when I say I don't believe it's an invitation we would refuse.
Okay, well, what would be a convenient day for you then? 2 days from now, 3 days from now. I know his schedule's open then.
Is there a way that we could contact you or someone within your baronry once we've had a chance to speak to our other members?
Oh yes. I've got a. Where is it? They sent me. They gave me a fire phone. Here we are. She pulls out like a little flip phone.
Like a little jitterbug.
I just realized she called it a fire phone.
It's a burner.
Phone.
It triggers Roy Schrick now.
She flips the phone open. It explodes into flame. No, she flips open, and she's like going through her contacts. There's the number. She holds it up so you can write down the number to her own phone.
She opens it, explodes into flames. Samuel's been here.
Minister is watching!
Excuse me.
she'll write it down real quick, just on like the palm of her hand, the pen, and I'll put it in my phone later.
Okay. Well, I look forward to hearing from you.
Of course. Tell your Baron we appreciate the offer of meeting. And
Of
look
course, of
forward
course.
to speaking with him.
Well, just call me anytime. I mean, anytime at night.
Of course.
It was nice to meet you, Mr. Adams. You have a very nice bar. Though I think I like the windows better when they were windows. She turns around and starts walking off. She gets a little ways off and just sort of, disappears out of view.
Travel safe. Like one day, and like 3 of the things this lady talked to me about.
What lady?
Old acquaintance.
Right.
Suppose did Walter follow Kyle out?
Would you know if he did?
No, but she'll just be like, Walter, are you lurking?
Iola, I think, would have probably activated Sense the Unseen. I'm blanking on names.
And Sansine.
Yeah, have that. Emma said something about somebody being there.
Oh, she was wondering if Walter was there.
Yeah, so.
Walter, your Nos buddy.
Yeah.
He's not responding, so he's either being quiet or he's inside still.
Honey, you're quiet.
Okay, you basically what's the object that's close to them?
His car.
Emma's standing next to her car. Other than that side of the parking lot's probably fairly empty. Now, if you get to the little grass area between your business and the next business, there may be like a light pole or something like that. Little bushes.
He probably would have just simply, like, you would have heard maybe seen her tapping on your car, just like maybe one or two little taps.
Ah, the spirits, they communicate.
Are they telling you to change the damn tire
I already changed the damn tire.
with an actual tire?
That requires having another actual tire. I'll do that when I drive to somewhere where there's another actual tire.
You need to find another actual tire. We know someone that might have actual.
Yes, I was going to go talk to Kincaid about it later.
Good plan. Speaking of planning, I have planning to do.
Inside.
Yes.
And everyone goes inside.
Okay, so everybody goes inside. Well, except Egidio, he's still.
Egidio.
Egidio's still doing Egidio things.
Has Egidio said how long? I don't know. Maybe he's baking a cake or.
His ritual. Let's jump to Egidio because his ritual should be wrapped up now.
You just
Let's
hear
remember to Egidio. I'll be right back.
there's like a bunch of candles at this point that are circled around the thing, and he says, "Espíritus, llega las cámaras," and then the candles shut off, and then very quickly just you hear a popping sound of the Tupperware snaps closed.
So now it's either worked or not worked.
And he puts
Vacuum seal.
vacuum sealed, and this one is also sunproof.
It's a really good Tupperware.
Yep, and he puts it in a coat pocket and walks to the dead man's drink, or walks. He'll do his normal rounds like he didn't just spend like 6 hours doing that.
Well, it probably wasn't 6 hours, but probably a couple.
Still,
Because plenty of other stuff has gone on with everybody else.
so he's going to do his normal rounds like through the take the long way to the blood center and then up looping back up around.
There are 4 police. When you get there are 4 police cars outside the blood center.
I immediately activate Silence of Death.
That's your shadow shroud thing.
No, that is the one. That's the one where I'm quiet. I'm silent until I actually start speaking.
Oh, I got you.
But I will activate that other one for stealth. Words are hard. I just had an interview, y'all.
Do either of these require a rouse check?
No.
Okay.
But Shadow Cloak is just in case.
The front door is open now.
Okay.
There are police cars. There's one car parked in the back. There is one more car parked in the front, kind of with the police cars. I mean, there's a lot of that model of car in town, but it's definitely a car you've seen in the parking lot often.
Oh, so it's like someone who works here?
Mm-hmm. More than likely, if the police showed up, and somebody got called, they came in and unlocked the door or whatever.
What's the situation like around? Like, there's cops here, so obviously this isn't the first place to start. So I'm gonna loop around.
As you look around to one side, you see the busted window that Emma had reported to you.
Okay.
It's one of those, not real big windows that was kind of up.
It's the one that kind of angles.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's shattered open. I'll try to cop a sight to see who might have popped in there. Sight.
Yeah, you look down, and the window is actually into one of the labs.
Huh.
Which is why it's up high, so somebody outside wouldn't necessarily see in, but it lets light in.
Yeah.
Lab looks a little trashed. There's a couple of officers, or a couple of looks like Egidio would recognize the forensics guys doing their work. They're taking samples. They seem to be taking a lot of blood samples because there's a lot of blood splashed around.
I see.
Uh,
It's a blood center, so.
But you see like ruptured bags and.
How interesting. He doesn't say that out loud. He's just like looking, thinking that. But
That'd be nice. To go to all the trouble to make yourself silent, and then you get up there. Well, that's interesting. And all the cops look over at you.
No, he's brown.
Would you look at that?
He's brown. They're pointing guns immediately.
True and sad.
Yep.
I would say, and it's in Alabama, but that's not really any worse than New York.
Yep. So he's just kind of looking for a bit, and then he'll continue on his way around to the back area.
Okay.
I thought Egidio would know, but is there a car parked back there besides the cop cars?
There is one employee car back there. Kind of over to one side. As soon as you circle around where you can see the window, you can see this one parked back there. That in one of the usual employees parking kind of thing. You recognize this car. This is the guy that brings you blood a lot.
Ah. All right.
But you knew he's the guy that, a lot of times on his shifts, he's the one that's kind of closing the place down.
I was gonna say, I'm also the one that gave him the lead, so.
And you being kind of, in the know on this place, this place, they've already like cut their hours down. They close earlier than they used to.
Yep.
Because used to, if you got up quick enough, you could get here while they were really closed. But
that's like 30 to an hour. Yeah. And then Egidio will kind of skulk inside, like from the back.
Okay.
Oh, stealth. That's what I'm here to do.
All right. Does that power give you bonuses on stealth checks, or
2 dice bonus to stealth.
Okay? So give me a stealth roll.
Yeah.
These are run-of-the-mill folks, so you need
8 successes.
2 successes.
All right.
I'll say 2 since they are cops and they are currently investigating a crime scene.
Yep.
Plus, there's blood everywhere. You gotta be careful where you step. You might leave footprints.
3, 4.
It's a weird set of footprints. It just goes nowhere.
6. I got more than that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Okay. then yeah, you slip inside, and like the foyer, you know, the little foyer,
Mhm.
you know, nothing wrecked there. You don't see any damage until you get back to the lab. You do see the doctor that's in charge of the place. Was it Dr. Klein?
Dr. Klein, yeah.
He's there talking to one of the officers. Dressed a little more casual than you usually see him.
So they probably called him in.
Quite possibly.
I'm gonna listen in for a bit and see if anything incriminating comes up. As I'm like, I'll go slower in this area to listen in, so that I'm kind of skulking into another area.
The officer's thanking him for showing up to unlock the doors. You know, assuring him, you know, we'll leave a car since the window's busted and all. We'll leave a car and an officer in the parking lot for the night. Though the forensics guys will probably be working here half the night, so he'll go and check with the detective and, you know, make sure they don't need for anything else, and then he can probably head home. You know, as you get to the back, like I said, kind of like when you picked outside, you see the forensics guys doing all the cleanup. I mean, there's no chalk outline on the floor, so hopefully nobody died.
That's mostly what he's looking for. Is like, did my plug fucking die?
Listen to these guys talk. There's just, you know, some of it is them talking, you know, just shop. But you do manage to pick out that, yeah, apparently somebody came through that window.
Is the glass in or out?
In.
Okay, so that's their point of entry.
But yeah, from their talk, you pick out the fact that the guy that was closing up around here was you know, working when this guy busted in. They say guy. They just kind of generally. And basically stomped a mud hole in him. You know, didn't shoot him, didn't stab him. He wasn't clawed up or anything weird.
Dry.
You know, just a good old fashioned beating.
So presumably they've taken this guy to the hospital.
Yes.
I think that's kind of the news he wants to hear. And so he's like, all right, not dead. He's going to slip out. And just kind of on the way out, just double checking and making sure, you know, just checking for his own edification what may have happened here, using his own knowledge of forensic science.
Well, you know, you can't tell about the whole beating the guy up. But you do see where clearly they were smashing up a lot of the blood bags. You notice some of the bags were marked as marked for disposal. You know, out of date or misdated or contaminated in some way. Basically, it's the sort of bags that you get from him.
I'm gonna look left, right, see if anyone try to catch one that has been punctured and just like. Whoop.
All right, give me another stealth roll. I'm going to say difficulty 3 because there's quite a few people. You know, there's 4 or 5 guys working in this not huge lab.
Yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3. I got 4 successes.
All right. Yeah, you kind of find one.
It's like Jenga it off of a pile.
And just when everybody turns their bag, you manage to slip one into your pocket.
And on we go. Alright. Yeah. Lit up and everything, just gonna. No one saw me, no one's gonna continue to no one's gonna continue to see me just out the back.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment I step out, and I'm gonna walk towards the dead man's drink, and I will activate Sense the Unseen. It's like, well, that's weird. Some sort of kindred was here, maybe.
Alright, give me a wits awareness. Or
Alright.
does your ability, since the unseen, do you use the auspex instead?
I believe it's both. So it's like wits awareness and then auspex.
Okay.
3.
Since the unseen replaces it, it lets
Oh,
you.
okay. It's a replacement effect. Same
Yeah,
amount of dice.
Basically, it lets you use wits awareness to see hidden
it's-
stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so instead of like awareness, you use like auspex to like sense hidden.
But still the wits, okay.
Yeah.
I got 3 successes.
Okay. So as you come around the corner of the mall, and the dead man's drink and the other restaurants there come into view, you see a lady that is cloaked in shadows, walking off. She doesn't seem to be in a particular hurry.
I mean, people who are invisible tend to think that they're invisible.
Mhm.
So, see her walk and continue to the dead man's drink.
Okay.
Just keep an ear out for footsteps coming my way.
All right. When you get there, everybody else is already inside.
Yep.
So the rest of y'all are in the dead man's drink, and then Gio walks in.
It's the blue, you did it right.
There's a Julia.
Night.
I'm usually the last one here. This is weird.
Yeah, well, I had a science project.
How fun.
Yeah, a trick I learned in Mexico.
Concern.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of that to go around, so.
It's fair.
So where are we starting with this meeting?
What do you
gotta-
want to talk about?
Oh, didn't get to talk about it last night with all the fun stuff going around, but a Nos from up in Camarilla territory wanted to arrange an emissary to talk to Camarilla.
Was their emissary our very friendly suicide bomber?
No, it was a Nos that was the emissary.
Yes. Emissary for Ford, Stafford. Stafford.
I have a jet, but I think that's one of Walter's buddies.
And
Yes, it is.
what did they want?
They wanted an emissary basically to communicate back and forth with the assurance that neither emissary would be injured.
I know a guy. Pulls out his phone.
So they send an emissary,
And then they send a bomb.
initiate talks with us, and then they try to blow up my bar.
Could be
Alright,
well-timed coincidences, but
Now, remember this would-be emissary also warned you about the escalation going on.
yeah,
This.
Yeah, that's how you know their side is gearing up with a bunch of incendiary rounds and stuff.
it could be coincidence. I vote we hold it at that for now. I know you're not particularly thrilled about that, but
They want an emissary in return, yes?
Ideally.
Now, this is not like an ambassador said it where they'd go there and stay. It's just these two people are known, are allowed to cross back and forth,
back
carry
and forth.
messages.
Yeah. They aren't killed on sight kind of thing.
Right. Kind of like when y'all were at the Princess, there was an emissary there from the Tremere.
Yeah.
We had a lot of questions to answer when stuff went down like it did.
Legidio.
They weren't favored.
I'm calling him.
Calling who?
Oh, I know a guy. This will be easy.
Who better than to annoy the Camarilla as an emissary allowed to enter their territory and leave than a minister?
Emma just kind of nodding. I knew I hung around you guys for a reason.
I will make the call to Colin.
All right, and if you remember, he contacted you last game
Yep.
to let you know if that job opening you were offering him was still open, he was interested. Which was for the census taker, I think was the one you were talking to him about.
Taker.
Cool, so we'll have to find a new census taker potentially, but
You were gonna have to get a new one in.
yeah. Maybe Woodard knows somebody, but let Egidio talk.
Mr. Rowe?
Mr. Luna, how are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you this evening?
Oh, doing quite well.
I've given some consideration, and I believe our the aforementioned position is still being looked at. However, I think I know something just for your skill set.
Oh, what's that?
How would you like to spread the word through other territories?
Well, I move around amongst, we in the ministry move around amongst the Anarch-controlled territories pretty well.
You're on the phone.
Oh, very good, thank you.
The ministry got called out on the ministry!
That would be me screwing up, not him.
Yeah. Who didn't expect the Inquisition? The ministry. What?
There's lots of places in town that we already have ready access to.
Oh, I wasn't talking about this town. I was talking about other towns.
Interesting.
Join if you want.
Perhaps we should speak in person.
I would like that very much. I believe you know where I am.
I know where you usually are, though, with the events of last night.
Still.
Ah, very good then. I'll be by. It might be an hour or two, but
Take your time.
I'll certainly be by tonight. I do hope everyone came away from last night uninjured.
Thankfully.
Terrible shame, all that gang violence.
Oh, yeah. It's getting worse. It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
This is true. This is undoubtedly true.
What is what then?
Anyway, he hangs up.
Yep. I was like, I don't even know what you said, but goodbye. Click.
And he'll look around and be like, I think he's interested.
Second point of business, I suppose. You weren't here, Egidio, but Wallace wants to meet with us.
Wallace? Like the whole domain?
The Baron of the Wallace domain, Sebastian Cologne.
Ah, Mr. Cologne.
Mm-hmm.
From what we were told, his messenger believes that seeing the explosion on the news triggered some form of vision.
Interesting.
I would really prefer not to go if I can somehow weasel my way out of it.
I'm fine with him.
He wants to see all of us.
Right, but I'm more saying I'm in pretty okay standing with him compared to those of you who maybe were working at more of a baseline.
Well, we could always say that we had you working on something.
It's usually not a lie anyway.
Fair enough. If he refuses to talk to just the four of you, I'll show up, but there's been too many people trying to peg what I am, and he's old.
Is he? How old is he? Is he like Ancilla level?
You're pretty sure, just based on, what you've heard of him, he's been here in Decatur for a while.
And also, some of his kids, when we were at the Princess Theater, said something that comes up a lot with Salubri.
Oh, I heard that too.
Yeah.
Wondered what it meant, but now it makes sense given now that I'm able to extrapolate like contexts. Yeah, that makes more sense. Did you deal with 3 dots in occult?
If you won't talk to just the 4, I'll show up, but anything goes south, I'll just leave town, so.
That's awful flighty of you.
Yeah. But some things have been put into sharp contrast, so. It wouldn't be because of anything you guys done, more of a. There are
Sounds like something we done.
Nope. Gives a GDO look like, really.
It does.
We're a little bit more spaced out, so, and just in general, we don't embrace willy-nilly.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do. So yeah.
Well, like, either way, if something goes pear-shaped, we'll worry about that we'll burn that bridge when we have to come to it.
Cross that bridge when we burn it. I like. It's my favorite malapropism.
You open that can of worms, you lay in them. But we have their contact information. I also have the contact information for the emissary that came into the area.
Sorry, it's a malaphor. Continue. Can't be wrong on the internet for too long.
Also, I'm gonna start getting a little bit more active.
As far as what goes?
Like calisthenics or...
I got a weight set.
I'm not going to just be reactive anymore.
We need to probably... Where were... oh god, who did we hire for security?
Miles.
Where were Miles and Kincaid anyways? Like, the fact that they got by Miles and Kincaid.
It's just a regular looking dude with a coat.
But still, I mean...
Actually, that's a good point.
Miles or Kincaid would have known what he looked like. He recorded him.
Bring it up with them.
Who look like now?
Kincaid would have known what the suicide bomber looked like. Because that was the guy that recorded them.
Would he have known? Oh, that's right. Well, they chased after the guy in the dark, so it was a kid in a hoodie in the dark running away from you.
Also, something that me, the player, would have done since we're having a meeting about the barony itself. He would have contacted Miles and asked him to come by the drink.
That's fair. Miles would have shown up then. Kincaid's probably like on patrol or whatever.
Yeah. That's the player having forgotten, because me, the player, when it comes to a vampire game, I've never run a barony before, so this is all new to me too as a player.
Having flunkies is a new thing.
It actually really is.
You had flunkies in the last game.
Actually, no.
Hey, I had a name.
Yeah, I was about to say, Sarah's character had flunkies.
I'll say any game where I was playing as an actual, like, a vampire, I've always been the flunky, or someone who does work for someone else. I've never been the one in charge before. It's a new one. So yeah, he would have contacted Miles, like, before this meeting started.
Okay. Then yeah, Miles would have been there.
Okay. So he's saying this with Miles present too.
Yeah, Miles, how didn't...
More to the point, I am potentially going to be reactivating my old contacts.
You gonna get some gangbangers on our side, boss?
I'm fairly well respected in the underworld of the city. It's probably safe to say I likely have a little bit more power there than I even do here. We'll see how many respond. I did call a conclave to get all the major movers and shakers to have a meeting.
An abandoned Pizza Hut.
No, not here.
And Woodard Small.
The main thing I plan on doing is seeing about strangulating the incendiary trade in the underworld and redirecting its flow as best as possible.
That'd probably be the illegal weapons trade, period.
And keeping it out of Camarilla hands. Isolate those that are doing so anyway, and if need be, potentially finding ways to eliminate them.
Do you know guys in Huntsville?
I mean, I do know some folks, but this was back when I was still human.
Yeah, you don't really have any influence in Huntsville.
I have no influence in Huntsville. It's mostly here.
I mean, those are going to be that's going to be where the camera coming out of, right?
Yes. The foot soldiers. I'm talking about the black market trade and underworld contacts, info brokers.
I know a few of those. Probably not to the extent that you do, but you make friends really quickly when you have very specific needs.
Yes, but what if those friends refuse to talk to you because of some pressure that you're unaware of in the background?
I mean, one of them got his ass stomped in the blood bank, so
That's
possibly.
what happened?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I went to go walk around.
But what if, say, for example, to continue this metaphor, if you wish to donate to a particular business to help increase your influence, and do so silently in a way that the masquerade would not be breached, but suddenly you find any avenue that you have to really do so is blocked to you because of some form or another. Maybe some identification doesn't clear, or something else happens that blocks your bank account, or you suddenly find your funds gone. There's ways to wage war without doing so directly.
Interesting.
Target the purse strings.
Precisely. Once we get a hold on the trade, or as well as I can, I want to see about maybe using them during the day when the cam isn't active, so to speak, except for their goons. See about hitting their businesses, siphoning away funds with those with hacking abilities. Try to strip their resources, influence, and power away from them and weaken their standing in the city to make them easier for a head-on strike when the time comes.
Miles is smiling at this, nodding along with it. Then his phone goes off. He pulls it up, starts reading his text messages. Somebody's watching the bar.
Boy.
Kincaid spotted him.
What else is new?
Anyone we know?
He's not sure. He kind of figures it's a plainclothes officer.
Is it Kine or Kindred?
Does he have a description?
Or a photo?
Takes a picture, there's just a hat floating there.
Invisible man.
He sends you a photo of a guy sitting in the car, like munching on something, kind of keeping an eye. There's like binoculars sitting up on the dashboard. It's not a great photo, but unless it's a Kindred sitting in there eating potato chips.
Walter,
Thin blood.
tap the desk if you're still here.
Tap.
Walter visible just tapping the desk.
Well, I don't know if Walter was still in obfuscation or not, so I was just hedging my bets.
Generally, if we're having a meeting, Walter would just be present, but you know.
Okay. All right. So
He
if
slaps
you're
the
visible,
shit out of
then
the table.
if you're visible, Walter, would you be so kind as to get a closer look at our guest?
Oh, good sir. Nothing would please me more but a moment. And as soon as like he
Okay.
clears the doorway, he starts to obfuscate.
Miles tells you where the guy's parked. Basically, he's kind of over at this very side lot over here.
Oof. Well, so much for that. So much for that.
You got a little hungry, huh?
Wait a bit. That's all right.
Well, hey, at least you offset it. And if this guy's a kind and there's nobody watching, nom nom.
All right, Walter. So you head across the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
You get up with this guy. He's sitting there. He's sipping his coffee. He's munching on chips. There's like a Burger King bag, empty bag down to the floorboard. Looking inside, you can see where there's some like radio equipment. It's got one of those computers like a police car's got,
Mm-hmm.
but it's unmarked on the outside.
So again, could be an undercover cop, or just could be some nosy SOB.
Given the computer equipment, this may be the cops may be keeping an eye on the bar. Now, whether they're doing that just on their own because enough weird stuff has happened, or whether that's somebody influencing them to do this, who knows?
Well, Walter would probably play it safe because, again, he's not really too sure. He definitely can figure it's not a kindred of any sort because they're actually eating and drinking. Perish the thought.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Could be thin blood.
Oh yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. We might learn to weaponize them just as well. I mean, what?
That's all they exist for, is to be weaponized.
I was actually tempted to make a Thin Blood this game.
They are fun.
See, it was either Thin Blood. I basically rolled a d4. It was Thin Blood, Ravnos, basically street magician that had enough resources and sort of an Osiris feeding style, where he basically had an Earth Roamer, and he just sort of just drove around in that, and that was his haven.
Nice.
My old Malkavian, who was an absolute terror when it came to information gathering.
Enough Malkavians.
And then Criminal Gangrel, and it came up as number 4, so the Gangrel got made.
If anything, Walter would just kind of after checking the guy out, seeing what all was going on, he would slowly mosey on back into the bar and report back to Kyle and them. Once he passes through the doorway, he'll break his obfuscation like, well, by the looks of things, we have ourselves a guest. Now, whether or not he's a genuine undercover cop or someone with paranoia decided to go upon this, who rightly knows. But it's definitely not a kindred of any sort.
Not bad. Tosses you the blood bag that's in his coat pocket.
You see an angler smile. Thank you. Takes
The
takes a
angler
sip.
smile doesn't even sip. He just eats it, plastic and all.
I just had this mental image of his jaw unhinging, just this row of sharp teeth, and just nom nom nom.
See, I just picture him driving his fangs into it like you would a Capri Sun with the straw.
There it is.
Oh yeah, just like easily just it's like there's just the one kind of curled out. He just has the bag puncture it.
I like my version better.
It's nightmare fuel, but
Oh, it's definitely not mirror fuel if we go with that route.
I mean, you're Nosferatu, so
Yes,
done
but
good,
you're
my
making my Nos be more of a monster than what he actually is. if it could actually be done.
You done well, my Dorito-shaped friend.
I love how that's just the code now. Okay.
done well, Cool Ranch.
Now, I have a question for you, Eric.
Yes.
One of your touchstones is a young lady named Abigail Walker.
Yes.
Somebody else that got out of the same life that you had gotten out of.
Mm-hmm.
Except, in her case, not literally out of life.
Yes.
What was Kyle's relationship with her?
They basically watched each other's backs. They're like squad mates.
Okay.
Squad mates. It's basically it was sort of like a trust, like you got my back, I got yours kind of a thing, which is where his fierce kind of protectiveness comes from.
Okay. All right. I wanted to make sure that the two of you knew each other.
Oh.
And it wasn't just that you had observed somebody else getting out and fixated on her.
No, yeah. This was they had known each other. His other touchstone is someone that he sort of found out about, which is sort of where that fixation comes from.
Mhm.
But that person is a very much a basement dweller, to put it mildly.
Yes, I was looking at him going, I can use him. It may take a minute. So anyway, y'all's meeting continues, and then you start hearing somebody banging on the door. Not like banging, but like knocking on the outside door.
Give me a moment,
That's weird.
and he'll go see who it is.
It's Abigail Walker.
Convenient.
Abigail, he'll open the door. What are you doing here? And he'll pull out his phone and like he's checking the time, and quick text.
It's not super late yet. It's probably 10 or so.
Yeah, but still, he's saying that like just check the time, and he's like, Walter, hide.
Oh, without missing a beat, just hey out.
Well, you're back y'all are having the meeting back in probably the office or one of the conference rooms. So
Yeah,
or not conference room, meeting rooms.
What are you doing here, Abigail?
Answer me one question. You're not back in the life, are you?
I am arranging a meeting between the leaders to see what the hell is going on in the city. You know my stance on neutrality here.
Okay, so you're trying to calm stuff down.
Ideally.
So who the hell tried to blow up your place? And why are the police coming around talking to me?
I don't know, and they shouldn't be.
Oh, they wanted to know about our past relationships.
How interesting, considering there's a plainclothes officer currently staking out my bar.
She drops both Jesus' name and an F-bomb at that. Starts looking around to see if she can spot him.
They're out back.
Yeah. At the angle y'all are standing, they're basically on the opposite side. They'd have seen her pull in with her car, but that'd have been better.
Yeah, I mean, they would have seen you pull in, but they're on the other end of the building.
She pulls her hood up anyway.
So, is that why you came by? To see if I was back in the life, or?
Well, and to see if you were okay. I mean, somebody bombed the bar.
Fortunately, I know what gasoline smells like.
So you honestly don't have any idea why somebody tried this,
No.
or why somebody apparently hit a body in your bar.
No.
Whatever it is, the police are clearly interested in you. I'm sure I'm probably not the only person in your past they're talking to, but
Probably not. No, a body got hit in my bar after some drunk idiots tried to run over one of my regulars, and I chewed them out, and then they decided to fold their car in half around a light pole. The next night, body in my bar. Go figure. And this, I got no damn clue. But we had that shootout at the Aldi's. Now someone tried to blow out my bar, and I want to know what the hell's happening.
all right, Kyle.
Why did you have to bring up the Aldi's? She didn't.
How about? Oh yeah, when you bring up the Aldi, she's like, that was you too? But I need a manipulation.
I can't tell if that
Subterfuge.
is for you or not.
Oh no, yeah, You know what? No, I'm not gonna search because he's not a good liar, and he doesn't manipulate. I got one success out of 2 dice, but one success.
Well, she doesn't call you a liar when you go, I have no idea what's going on. But she doesn't look completely trusting. It's like she's clearly still got some doubts.
Oh yeah, I was there at the Aldi. Someone tried to jump me. I had to fight my way out. I don't know if that is in relation to what happened to my bar, or if that was a retaliation for it, or if it was unconnected.
Well, the news this evening said the guy that blew up worked at an Aldi's.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, the police had apparently identified him.
That's news to me.
Just what the news said. I don't remember. She's like, she doesn't remember what the name was. But...
Hold on. And he'll go over and he'll turn on the TV. He'll try to find the news channel to see if they're still running it.
Well, the cable news channels aren't, because this is all local crap.
Yeah.
But I said it was about 10 o'clock, so you might find the 10 o'clock news.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you watch it long enough, it comes up. It identifies the guy. Please use dental records. Now, there's nothing that particularly links that guy to the attack at the Aldi's.
Mm-hmm.
They just mentioned that's where he worked.
Kyle frowns and leans back and says, "No, I did not know that there was someone at Aldi's involved with this."
Man, she's still gonna give you the side eye. Well, look, man.
He's being truthful about that. He had no idea.
Oh, that's right. You didn't get a look at the guy, so yeah Kyle would not have.
Nobody told him. He's being entirely truthful that no, he did not know that's who this was.
Oh, okay.
He saw their back and that was it. And then there were a corpse.
Well, look, man. I don't know what's going on either, and I'm not trying to be a bitch about it, but I need you to handle it.
I'm working on that.
I'm engaged now, and he don't know about some of the stuff that I did back, and I don't need him to find out this way. I kind of built myself a new life. I don't need the old one coming in and ruining stuff.
Well, that's what I got here. But between me and you, if it comes down to one of us having to get a handle on this, I'll take the hit for it, and I'll start sticking my hand in pies to forcibly organize things back together again.
Okay.
You take care of yourself, you and your family.
All right. Well, I mean, watch your back.
Of course, yeah.
Now, all of you back in the office are like over here. It's like everybody's.
Oh, back there with popcorn.
Starts swearing in like Italian. I recognize a version of that word.
But let me know when you get it sorted.
I will certainly do my best.
And then she's never been a hugger, so she just slugs you in the shoulder and walks out.
Okay.
In the face.
No, it'll be in the face if he doesn't get this straightened out.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, there's definitely a file lit under Kyle's butt now because one of his touchstones is involved.
So yeah, she tucks the hood back on really good, and kind of hustles out to her car, drives like, you didn't tell her where the cop was, so.
He told him it was in the back.
That's true. So she drives the opposite way, which takes her out by the blood center where there's a bunch of cops, so who knows.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle comes back into the office, cracks his neck a bit. Well, now consider me doubly motivated to get this under control.
Girlfriend?
We used to know each other.
Ah, so there's potential for it to be
So-
a old flame.
Yes, ex-girlfriend.
No, we fought together when we were younger.
Oh shit,
As-
Jane Wick, let's go!
We watched each other's backs.
Emma's just looking at it, she'd go like, really?
I get those movies in Mexico too!
Well, I'm not that. It's just like, really? That's immediately where your mind goes?
I would rather
They're
she
good
not
movies, though.
get any deeper involved in this, considering the police are starting to question her now.
Ah, shit.
So, this means I have to crack down on things.
So what's our
Right.
first move?
Well, I have the conclave scheduled, or they're talking. We'll see if I can get a schedule for that. I'll have to hear back from them to see when that gets handled, or when that meeting is going to be.
When do we want to set up the meeting with Wallace Baron?
Yeah, getting contacted by the Wallace barony, by their baron, because they had a vision is rare. So that's something we're gonna have to take care of.
Lady said he was free next couple nights.
That's true.
Holds up her hand. Still got the number.
Mhm. Miles, what's your take on Woodard?
Woodard is the mall lady. Just.
Mm.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the. Never mind. Ignore me.
I mean, all the Brujah were at her mall for that meeting, so he figures Miles and Woodard probably know each other, or at least tangentially.
Yeah. Now, what was you one? What is it about Woodard?
He was asking Miles what's his take on her.
I don't know, trust her as far as I could. Well, no, I could probably throw her further than I trust her. Rumor is that she tried to take out her sire, got caught in the act, and that's what put her on the run from the cam. But all that happened just a few weeks before all hell broke loose down here with the Inquisition. And she came back as an anarch, basically.
Anyone say why she tried to take out her sire?
Yeah, it's Cam. They just do that kind of stuff. I think she was wanting his position or something.
So ambitious and looking to further her own power by whatever means is necessary.
Well, Ventru. I mean, maybe that going so badly for her has made her more cautious.
We still need someone to effectively be the census taker of this domain.
You know anyone?
There's
Miles, right?
Yes.
yeah, Miles.
Know anyone, Miles?
Let's see.
Do keep in mind she was trying to push one of her subordinates for your position, Miles, so having something to potentially soothe the blow to the ego for having to deny her would probably be helpful as well.
Yeah, that's still giving her a position of power.
It is.
On the other hand, gives you an excuse to kind of watch her too.
Also true. Especially considering how close she is.
Yeah. I don't know, boss. I'll take y'all's lead on that. You know, she's been true. I don't trust her. By the same token, I can't remember her, screwing any of us brouhaha over. But let's just say I wouldn't super count on her being loyal, being a loyal anarch. Beyond the fact that the cam would be hesitant to take her back.
She may at least be worth talking to if we decide to go financially crippling Camarilla. She may know people. At the same token, though, she may tell the people, depending on where her allegiances lie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she apparently does know someone that can force a kindred into doing something. Like attempting to assassinate a primogen.
You don't think?
Oh, if it was her, I will be acquiring a mall in short order.
Miles is like, oh, what? You think she might have sent the bomber?
I doubt it.
I mean, generally speaking, I think she's a little more subtle than that.
That's why I doubt it. No, if it was her, it'd be a great deal more subtle than a suicide bomber through the front door.
Yeah, that strikes me as somebody responding because they were pissed off.
Fair enough, just one of those keeping it in mind kind of things. She knows someone that can wield that power, and if she pays for that person could also be paid for by other people.
That's true.
Or they have their own. Who knows?
Well, we do know something happened with Rat that put him into a bloodthirsty rage just in general before he calmed down. At the very least, we could extend an offer her way for someone who might be able to be the census taker. Feel them out, feel her out, see how they do before trusting them with any further positions.
About that time, Miles' phone starts ringing. Huh, it's Kincaid. I need to take this one. He steps out of the office.
Mm-hmm.
You hear him?
Heightened senses.
Also, heightened senses.
Yeah, okay, what's up? You hear Kincaid. Just got a call from one of the guys up north. Somebody jumped the Dustborn. Dude, you're on the phone. Oh, and he rattles off, crap, I don't have my character sheet. for
The one we were.
the thin blood that y'all were that y'all have interacted with. Finian, something. Furman, that's it. You know, the one that got in the fight with Kincaid.
Yeah.
Alive?
But what was it? Right. Then he calls the guy by name, you know. Yeah, I'm headed up there now to see what was going on. Yeah, he contacted me, so, you know.
If they're injured, let me know. I was a doctor in past lives. It translates well enough.
But anyway, he tells him to, all right, yeah, keep me informed. And he walks back in.
Oh, he was out there. Never mind.
Yeah, y'all were listening with the enhanced senses, but it was enough to pick up both sides of the conversation. Yeah, Kincaid got a call. Yeah, somebody roughed up the thin blood.
That doesn't limit it, which they have names.
So that makes 3 potential incursions in one night.
Yeah, he goes, apparently the dude, his haven must be somewhere up either north of the domain or up in the north part of the domain. Because it was up around there that him and Kincaid got into it.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, apparently he's good now, but it was, just kind of out of the blue.
I hate to say this, and I'm usually one to try and talk things out before resorting to violence. We need to figure out a way to answer this back in a language they understand.
I do know how to make that mixture.
Well, we can't very well send someone in there as a bomb. That's
No. But knowing where to put it and how to detonate on the other hand.
Miles is smiling again. We're gonna blade somebody's nose, aren't we?
Well, depending on how well this works, I might be seeing how many of your fellow kindred we might be able to rally together.
Well, you know, the ones in the domain, yeah, I could probably get them to help us out. You know, pretty easy. You want me to throw a wider net than that? Well, you know, you're gonna owe them something.
I seem to remember at a certain meeting they were all looking for a target to hit.
The meeting that we prevented a rocket launcher from going off at.
Miles like, you know, that's a fair point. Some of them might consider themselves to be owing you a favor already.
We find a good target. We get things put together to where we won't have any con interference.
Or casualties.
Or casualties.
Yeah, you can't guarantee that in a fight, but, you know.
Limited.
Do our due diligence anyway.
Yeah. They have enough going on right now with everything else. No need to add on to it.
Let me just say this. I highly doubt there's much that can stand up to a whole pack of you Bruja in a fight.
Not much and nothing.
You still have that
That'd be a sight to
ordinance
see.
though.
What was that, Jeremy?
Like I still have that. I do still have that ordinance though.
Oh yeah. Do you know how to use that?
Not as well as anybody else. You point.
I don't know. Some of my boys know some stuff. I'll ask around, see who in the clan might have some first-hand experience with that. We got some ex-military guys.
Yeah, you point the thing and it makes the boom.
I think they might be able
You're
to
not wrong, but there's more to it than that.
Okay, there's the angle, the adjusting for wind. Yeah.
You have to triangulate and everything. Yes.
We'll find you something to explode, don't worry.
Point being, we get things worked out. It would be a sight to see a whole pack of Brujah deciding we don't particularly like this group of Camarilla.
Spot to hit be the hospital.
That would be a bit much. That's
As ideal as that would be as a stronghold.
Ooh, if we could, it would be kind of neat to. Miles like it would be kind of neat to expand our territory, but the Cam's gonna fight hard for that hospital.
and
Yeah.
there's with everything going on, it's already full of kind. Just
Yeah, them
just saying.
Cam pigs are probably eating good.
It's also important to the infrastructure of the city. It could draw wider attention than we really want.
We have to do it all sneaky style.
We have to be smart.
Just cut off the heads.
Could
Yeah, that's
gather
how snakes work.
information. Find targets of opportunity where groups are gathered. For instance, if we find any coterie havens belonging to the Cam, hit them with a surgical strike. Either put them down or final death them. Move on.
We do know. We could check with, and I forgot his name, Finnegan? The Thin Blood.
Somebody called his name earlier.
We would check with him and see if there's any Thin Bloods or that are able to be out during the day that would be willing to do reconnaissance. They wouldn't have to give us their identity or anything if that makes them feel more comfortable, but, just getting information.
That would be ideal.
They'd also be able to move when we can't. Only bad thing may be maybe a little, because of them being Thin Bloods, they may be a little bit more vulnerable to attack.
During the day, the most they'd have to worry about is kind.
And Merle can keep some pretty rough kind around, or even ghouls. It's something to keep in mind.
Well, there's gonna be a risk either way. We are at war. But something to keep in mind. I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of Woodard.
Okay. As you start to call Woodard, Miles gets a text.
I was like, he's saying this like out loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Character. It's like, I'm gonna see if I can try to get a hold of Woodard if anyone's got any other ideas. I know we're still waiting on your friend to show up. Oh, Miles, you weren't here when we discussed it. You might particularly like this ploy. So a Nosferatu from the Camarilla did come into the territory to request to act as emissary from the Nosferatu Primogen.
Stafford, okay.
So we kind of had a bit of a brainchild here and decided, what would be the best polite way to say F you without saying F you than to send a minister?
Yeah, I like that. Though it's kind of interesting because I know they got embassies with with some of the larger baronies around here. I mean, mostly Maddock and Yes. August.
You just
I'm
have to.
not sure they do with anybody else or not. Maybe with Wallace.
You just gotta
After all the Primogen know him because he's been here so long.
Well, from what I understand of the conversation, it's because of the threat we pose.
Yeah, you are close to one of the hospitals.
We're also apparently very effective at putting people down.
You've made a splash. On both their side and on ours. A lot of people are talking about you. What was that?
Does they started at work here?
One more time.
Does they started at work here?
Because they started it.
Like
We're
saying,
saying-
little
Oh, I got you.
At first I heard Zay started, I'm like, well, I mean, she did get
Technically.
kidnapped.
You just didn't have to get kidnapped. Jeez.
Sorry, guys. I'll try to get kidnapped less next time.
Some of the cowards want to blame y'all for restarting the escalation, but it's like we didn't all know that was coming anyway. We've been sitting around too long. We need to be taking it to them. And you guys have been great about that.
What are they gonna do? Try to take the barony? Better
Yeah.
tried already.
Yeah.
Egidio, you get a text from your ministry buddy. He's outside.
One moment, and I will politely excuse myself. Open the door.
Mr. Luna, nice to see you.
Hello. Here, I'll show you to the rest of the barons here real quick.
Of course. And he's here. He's got his usual muscle out in the car, and that guy stays out in the car.
Now, knock back on the office door and be like, "Other barons, this is Colin Rowe."
Hello.
Hello.
A pleasure to meet you, sir.
And he shakes hands with anybody willing to shake hands with him.
You see Walter's big meaty paw extend for a handshake. Of course, he tries his best not to, overdo
Brush
it.
the hand.
It was nice to finally meet you all. I think can't remember if he was at the initial meeting, or not.
He was.
Okay.
I remember that. He was there.
Mhm.
So Egidio had approached me about becoming the census taker, but then tonight he was implying that you had some other position in mind.
Yes.
This stays. He'll close the door behind everybody in this room.
Oh, of course, discretion, absolutely. Think of it like we're in confession.
Of course. Whew, that was a memory. Anyway,
Oh yes, I imagine it was.
that was both the player and Egidio. So he goes, so, as you may know, war were declared again.
For the third time this week.
Yeah, exactly. However, in that there are certain individuals who send emissaries between the battle lines who are promised their safety. You know how big the cam are on safety or on their promises.
Yes, well. But yes, I mean, the emissaries are generally that's generally honored as you want to keep your lines of communication open.
And I thought, who better to send to the cam than the good word?
More to the point, it would allow you safe passage and access to Camarilla territory.
You know, with restrictions, I couldn't just wander around willy-nilly, but yes.
Yeah.
And they are not particularly fond of my church, so...
That'd be even funnier then.
Again,
Perhaps.
this gives you the privilege of being able to walk around their territory without the threat of being harmed initially.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like I said, you couldn't. An emissary can't just wander around randomly.
Of
You would
course.
have
But I
that
could-
purpose, of course.
But yes, but I could go. I could set up meetings. I could go specifically to, well, whatever place they set up as like the embassy. It is an intriguing idea. I mean, it's a bit of a left turn from census taker, but
Plus, you might be able to expand your flock into other territories.
Openly, of course, but I'm sure you can get a few followers.
It would be up to you to weigh the benefits and risk entailed, of course.
I'll need a little time to think about it.
Of course. Take all
Right.
the time you need.
Not all
If
the
this is
time,
not
but-
to the taste, of course, I'm sure the census taker won't be gobbled up too quickly in the position.
I was about to ask if you had selected someone else for that.
That's a bit of more of a delicate balancing act.
Of course, of course.
I just thought somebody of your glibness would appreciate a job where you're talking.
I will admit, I have the skill set that would be useful.
Mhm.
But yes, give me a little time. Let me speak to some of my senior members of the church.
Reconvene in 3 nights, perhaps?
Well, I should certainly have an answer by then, if not sooner.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, that was it. That was all I had. If anyone else here has anything.
Now, this was mostly us extending a formal invitation to become the ambassador for our domain.
Well, I certainly thank you for considering me.
Thought you'd like a little more, something a little more adventurous than something, census takers, a little mundane.
Yes, but it's a necessary job,
Of course.
and it gives me an opportunity to meet so many people. And I am always interested in meeting interesting people.
Could be plenty of them over there you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise.
That is a fair point. But if that's all, I'll let you get back to your meeting.
That is all, yes.
Till next time.
Alright.
Wait for him to show him out. Leave.
Yeah. He goes out, gets in the car. His driver takes him off.
Yep.
While you're letting him out, you see some police cars drive by. Looks like they're probably leaving from the blood center.
Mhm.
You know, because it's been a few more hours, so maybe they're wrapping up there.
Alright.
Do we want to set up a meeting with Wallace? Maybe they can, or the Wallace barony, maybe they have someone else that we could also consider for census.
That'd be a sign of weakness asking another baron. It'd need to be someone from our domain.
Fair enough. Though they seem to know.
We need to set
Other
up a meeting with them anyway,
Yeah.
so it could be something that we ask, but it shouldn't be the focus of the meeting.
No, just tossing it out there.
Walter, I had a thought.
Yes, good sir.
Why don't we just invite the domain here? Just whatever. I'm sure you know people who know people. Just bring them in and speak with them. Hey, this is a position we have available. If anybody here is interested,
Like
Open casting
interviews-
call.
yes.
Open interviews for census takers between the hours of 10 p.m. and midnight.
I mean, I'm sure I can see about that if that's what you wish, sir.
That could bring people from outside the domain to try to take the position, which would compromise the security of it. I do like the idea, but we need to be more circumspect.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I know I have fellow Nos keeping an eye out on the ins and outs of our domain, making sure we're safe and secure. Well, I mean, to be fair, they could work just as well as, being the means of keeping a head count. If push
Yes.
so.
You could also have an official census taker have them as part of their network to inform them as to who is entering, who's leaving.
Fair enough.
Either way, I'm going to see about setting up a meeting with Woodard tonight to extend an invitation personally as the one who's the most senior here in terms of having lived in the city as long as I have. That should see about soothing any potential,
Feathers.
yeah, unruffle some feathers perhaps.
Good luck.
Right. He's actually gonna go to the kitchen and cook up a burger
Ring
while
out the juice.
he's
That's not actually blood.
he's gonna call Woodard and he's gonna cook.
All right, so you call over to the mall. One of Woodard's people answers.
Yes, this is Kyle Adams. I'd like to meet with Miss Woodard tonight if she's available.
Oh, of course, sir. Let me just check with her. She's back on a minute later. Yeah, she can certainly meet with you. You might want to come around to the southern entrance, though. There seems to be someone loitering around the northern entrance.
Yes, I've noticed them.
Ah, very good then, sir.
Unless this is someone else that is loitering, in which case there are two of them. And that would constitute a loitering problem.
Then it becomes an endemic.
But yes, we will have security there waiting on you anytime you wish to show up.
I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Very good, sir.
And
All right.
gets off the phone, and Ejidio's just like, "What if we just had a party here?"
Well, you all can. I have a meeting to attend to. And
Are
he's-
you going alone, or are you taking out somebody else with you?
Well, if someone would like to come.
I mean,
You haven't
well,
revealed what the meeting is.
Well, I told you. He said he's going to go speak to Woodard to extend a formal.
Oh,
To
of that.
extend the say, hey, we're looking for someone for the position of census taker. If there's anyone you would like to basically sponsor for the position, please let me know.
I mean, Walter would just attend just so there's at least some extra muscle.
I think Ejidio's finding some kind of like he feels very interested in anarch politics in particular. How they wildly differ from anything he's been a part of up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Politics,
Yeah.
fist fights.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll join.
Okay.
I was like, oh, sit this one out.
Do you want to look after Shiloh?
I figured you were taking Philo with you.
I certainly could, but you seem so fond of him.
It's a puppy dog.
I'll keep him with me. You might want to go ahead and follow us there and then split off. Considering we have eyes on the building.
Oh, my car's fixed now. I can at least maybe drive you over there.
Well, I
See about
plan.
getting Kincaid to put an actual tire on it.
Yes, but I plan on at least letting the nice man that is watching my bar know that we were just assessing damages while we were here.
Oh, that's who the burger's for.
Quite so.
I thought it was for the dog.
Same. I think Shiloh's kind of hurt now.
All right, so you're walking over to the whoever it is watching the bar.
Yeah, he'll call Shiloh and have him follow him. And
Yeah, he is right there on you.
He'll just walk over to the car.
As you get there, you see the guy behind the lowers the window a little bit.
Evening.
Well, hello.
Enjoying your night?
Sure, I'm just waiting for somebody.
I'm sure. And then he'll just reach in and set the burger down on his dash. Enjoy your meal. And then he'll walk off towards the mall.
Delicious burger or dangerous poison?
Smells good.
The fun thing
Way to
is,
find out.
I used to play Battletech with a local cop, and they are particular about which restaurants they'll go to.
They are, yeah. There's cops that go by the gas station next to my work. I remember one time I was particularly hungry, and then eyes were bigger than stomach, and I had like I think 2 or 3 oatmeal cream pies. And I was like eating one, I saw them, I was like, hey, do you want these 2? And they're like, nope, we're good. It's like they won't even really accept food from people.
Yeah. Well, you never know when somebody's going to do something, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Or somebody can see it as a form of bribing.
There's
Yeah.
a small pipe bomb in the burger.
Oh dear.
The
But no, yeah,
burger smells like gasoline.
but he just sets it down and walks off. Basically saying it without saying it is, yes, I'm well aware you were watching my bar.
He doesn't eat it, but he does smell it. Oh, it smells so good. And then he probably gets on his radio, you know, to let the bosses know he's been made.
That's not. I still would have had heightened senses active if he actually was radioing that.
Yeah, he just tells them what happened. Yeah. Think they made me. But
Happy to support the boys in blue.
yeah, like I said earlier, a lot of activity. But yeah, when you get to the south end, or the south entrance of the mall, there's people there waiting to let you in.
Yep.
Emma just gives a little salute and continues on.
And where's Emma going?
She was gonna see if Kincaid could fix the tire, put like an actual tire on it.
Okay.
Kyle say, Walter, would you mind accompanying her, please?
I figured she would go with maybe Miles, because wasn't Miles going to see what's going on with Kincaid?
Yeah, once y'all broke up, he was going to head that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, he was going to ask to hitch a ride if you didn't offer.
Yeah, she'd
Well, never
give him a
mind.
ride.
Yeah, I thought Miles was going to go off to do his own thing. I misunderstood.
Well, he kind of is, but his own thing is going to check on Kincaid because Kincaid's checking on the other guy that got beat up.
Fair enough. Okay.
Give her my best.
Will do.
All right. So I think Walter said he was going with Kyle. Iola, are you going with Kyle?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So all the rest of you are going with Kyle. So yeah, a couple security guys let you in. One of them escorts you back to that little shut-off office area that Woodard keeps.
Yep.
Yeah, she's behind her desk when you get there doing some paperwork. Sets it down as soon as y'all walk in. Stands up. Barons, welcome.
Miss Woodard, and he'll shake her hand,
Uh,
and he'll tell Shiloh to go sit like in the corner, and so he's not so like in the way.
yeah, he seems a little edgy around people now. Well, he doesn't bark at anybody, but there's a low growl if somebody gets too close to him.
Yeah.
Even when it's some of the rest of y'all.
Yeah. See, I was reading that, and it said like for animalism, it doesn't change some of their stuff. It just forms a mental link.
Yeah, but some of these people talk just stepping a little too close to you. They're very protective of you.
Yes, it's like it attacks in defense of itself and its master, but cannot otherwise be persuaded to fight something it would not normally attack.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like I said, it's not attacking him, it's not even barking about it. You get that kind of low growl sometimes, like he ain't super happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Woodard's in here, her head of security is in here.
Mm-hmm.
The little short, mousy lady with the big glasses.
Yep.
Was that Ada Short? Okay.
I believe it was, because I remember us talking about how that's very fitting.
She's sitting over to one side, crocheting.
For so much.
You know, everybody else is standing when you walk in. They don't pay no attention to the fact that you came in.
Alright, so this is more of a short thing, but something I feel like needed to be done in person.
Safest form of communication.
True. I had already sent out an application for the sweeper position before you had made your own offer, and they did accept.
Regrettable, but
However,
I'm sure Miles is a good choice.
we are still looking for someone to be our census taker for the domain.
Oh.
You being as business acumenly inclined as you are, I figured you probably know someone who would be best for that position, and this is our extending an offer for you to sponsor someone for the position if you so chose.
Well, I do know several people in the domain fairly well, or I know the domain fairly well. I mean, I have the skill set, but I'm rather busy with my own affairs.
Yes.
She kind of cuts her eyes over towards Ada. And the crocheting slows down, like she feels eyes on her. I might have someone in mind. I would need to speak with them about it, you know.
Of course.
I wouldn't want to push somebody into such a big job without talking it out with them first.
Understandable.
But even if they turn me down, I think I have another couple in mind that would be fine for the position. When do you need an answer by? Or when do you need my recommendations by?
No later than the end of the week.
Oh, easily done.
As we have a few other meetings to attend to for domain security and other various things.
Of course.
Regrettably, I couldn't host you at my bar. There's a particular location there I think you might enjoy.
Oh?
Something more fitting for having a meeting with one of refined taste.
Oh. I would be interested to see that. Well, once you're finished with the repairs. Dreadful business last night.
Yes.
I have to say, other than that night we've met, I don't think I've ever been in that building. I was certainly never there when it was a Pizza Hut.
Of course. I would have went ahead and hosted you for a meeting tonight, but as there were eyes on the building.
Yes, our loiterer.
Yes. Apparently, the police department is keeping an eye on it. Either on their own recognizance or being manipulated into doing so. That much is unclear.
Well, and he taps his ears. When they mention that they've been made, they probably wouldn't be made to the people who they would be ostensibly protecting.
Well, enough strangeness has gone on at your bar recently that it could certainly be the Camarilla exerting influence to make things harder for you. But it could also just be the police trying to figure out why things keep happening at your bar. Honestly, I'm wondering why things keep happening at your bar.
I too am wondering why things keep happening at my bar.
It's a fine domain, but it's shouldn't be big enough to be getting this much attention this quickly. I mean, other than perhaps your body count.
Well, depending on how many times they push me, that count might be growing.
We are at war. As long as the other side's count growing and not ours.
Speaking of war, I have a proposition you yourself might be interested in assisting with.
Oh, what is that?
One of my thoughts, in terms of potentially expanding the domain's influence and or weakening the influence of our enemies. I intend to bleed the Camarilla by using influences of my own.
It's a good idea.
Example, hitting their businesses, siphoning funds, levying pressure of a standpoint and influence that those of a more business-inclined mindset might find themselves to be in favorable positions.
That sounds like a good strategy, and I'd certainly be willing to assist you in that. Do keep in mind that many of the cam that are still here have been here for a while and are firmly entrenched.
Yes.
But certainly,
It'd be a long-term campaign, of course.
yes, and certainly I'd be willing to assist that. Anything to help the domain and the Anarch cause.
Which is why I'm mentioning it to you, as in a case such as this, you have more experience in matters like this than I do. I know how to hit them. I know where, in some cases. But how to make it stick and how to make it last, that's something I believe you know more about than I.
Yes, I mean, you can always firebomb a place. I mean, clearly. But with that's not going to do... That wouldn't do someone like me any harm. I've got everything insured. But yes, I'll begin looking into ways we might be able to financially assault them. And if you're arranging a physical assault at the same time, that what they call it, the 1-2 punch.
I plan on bleeding them a little bit first. Blood in the water, as it were. Make them desperate. Then hit them when they're disorganized. Furthermore, do you have any influence or contacts in the black market trade or the underworld?
A few. Are you looking to acquire something?
I'm not much of a manipulator, so I'll just outright say it. In the interest of further positive communication between the two of us, and alliance is working for the Anarch cause and to further the interests of the domain, I'm gonna start reapplying pressure upon the underworld with my old contacts and reputation.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you have to leverage your strengths.
I dare say that...
Of course, there are many on the other side that have influence with these same people.
They do, which is why I'm asking, because if we can isolate them and remove them from the game, we could get a stranglehold on the goods that might prove to be more harmful to people like us.
Now, of course, if you begin taking out the other side's contacts, they'll likely start taking out ours. Ours as in the Anarch side.
Yes.
And this could trigger an actual gang war amongst the gangs in the city. Since they wouldn't know what was going on, just that their people were being taken out. Now that could work to our advantage. So it's much easier to blame things on gang violence when there's actually a lot of gang violence going on.
Yes. My hope is to do so in a controlled environment and not provoke actual full-on gang warfare. So this is still a plan in motion. But at the very least, I'm going to start cracking down and making it harder for them to acquire what goods they wish. Which brings me to the point of I will need to know your contacts so I know who not to interfere with.
I'll get you a list. You might also check, this isn't domain specific, but Maddox has a lot of contacts, him and August, on the waterfront. If you're trying to cut in on supplies coming in, or illicit items coming in. The Camarilla still has some control up there near the bridge, but most of the waterway is controlled by, like I said, Maddox and August.
So we could redirect goods.
Possibly. I mean, you would have to discuss this with them, but
Yes. I'd like to not alienate my fellow comrades in arms when it comes to taking the fight against the Camarilla. Well, this is just proving that me requesting this meeting was more of a boon than I thought it would be.
yes, I believe this has been a very productive meeting. And I will certainly get you my short list of possible census takers by the end of the week, as you said.
I'd appreciate that, Miss Woodard.
So there's a round of shaking hands. Rappy, was Iola here when they met Woodard the first time?
I don't think so.
Okay, then she takes a special moment to introduce herself to you. I don't believe we've met.
Probably not.
I believe it was just your fellow barons that I met with the last time.
Mm-hmm.
When they stopped some potential unpleasantness.
I don't think Walter was there either. I think it was one of the nights Juba was out.
Oh, it might have been.
It was, yeah.
Then yeah, she would nod to Walter and say how nice it was to meet him too. It's like, for a second, it's like she's going to offer her hand and just can't bring herself to.
I mean,
But she keeps a very pleasant look on her face, sort of.
I mean, Walter is a massive hunk of kindred.
The way you said that, now I'm picturing Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, but it's Walter.
I'm glad someone picked up what I was putting down there.
Yeah, so she, the meeting wraps up, y'all are leaving. As the door closes, you hear Ada, I don't want to. Now, and you just hear you hear the crap, I completely blanked on names. Woodard. You just hear Woodard. Now, Ada, hear me out. Just like a mildly exasperated vibe to her voice. But y'all are escorted out, and let's see. Do we want to wrap now? Do we want to jump over to?
It is past 9:30.
Or do we just want to start up next time with Emma up north?
We can just start with them up north.
It's all up to y'all. I'm okay with starting up north.
Okay, we'll wrap here then. And then next week we will deal with whatever Emma runs into up north before going into the next day probably. All right. Well, I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it. We had some folks with us in the chat. We were glad you were here. Hope you'll come back next week.
People.
All the peoples.
Hope any of y'all watching at home or listening later on will join us.
Oh, it's also just so I can date this. It's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday to your mother then.
Happy
Yes.
birthday.
Tell her these strangers online that don't know her are wishing her a happy birthday.
I will.
Yeah.
Some of my weird gaming buddies said happy birthday.
I mean, not wrong.
If she's anything like my mom, she'd be like, oh, that's nice.
If you're looking for any more games here at Direbear, check the schedule below. We have other games going. And then we will probably, in all likelihood, see y'all next week.
Yep.
Till then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.